Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Well, this week's episode I just want to expand on what we said last week, because there were a couple of events I did miss out on, which I have to give them credit, I have to give them the due, and I didn't feel it will all fit on one video, so I didn't want to miss them out. So the first one is Star Wars Celebration. My destination I've always wanted to travel to was Japan. Number one destination in the world, Japan. But it's a long way to go and a big expense. Come Star Wars Celebration London, I heard it might be Japan. No chance. No chance are they going to do Japan. They announced Japan. The tear run down my eye when they announced Japan. It was like a dream come true for me. Star Wars and Japan. Incredible. Great, I got to take my son to Japan. He had a wonderful time. We did a tour of Japan, so we went to Kyoto, went to Osaka, we went to Shibuya, went to Japan itself, Tokyo itself. Amazing, amazing place. Clean, the culture was incredible, the food was incredible. Me personally, the letdown was breakfast. I just want two toasts in a breakfast, but it is what it is, you're in a different country, so I get it. But on whole, Japan, incredible. Went to Akihabara, me and my son are both Pokemon fans. Went to Akihabara, the electrical city, incredible. The travelling round Tokyo and round Japan just puts ours to shame. Getting on the Shinkansen, wow, 300 mile an hour. Every 5 minutes or whatever it is. We need to sort our train system out. And then we had Star Wars Celebration. Now, I love Celebration. I love the venue. It was busy. It was very, very busy. I think there was something like 100,000 people there. But it was very, very busy. Now, again, this is my own opinion. The stalls wasn't the best. But bearing in mind, you've got to expect people to take things to the other side of the world. So I can kind of understand that. From the collectors we normally see. But there were a lot of different things which was great to see. I didn't do any panels. I couldn't get in any panels. The guest list was okay. We had your regulars, your Daniel Logan, your Temuera Morrison, Hayden Christensen was there, Manager Shinto was there, who was incredible. Diego Luna was there, so it's the first time meeting Diego Luna. That line was bad. I think I queued for about 4 hours to get in that Diego Luna, which, anybody who goes to Celebration, you know what the lines are like. Who else did they have? John Knoll. John Knoll, I'm surprised. His line wasn't that busy, which I think should have been. I'm trying to think now. It was back in April. Then we had Vanessa Marshall, who's absolutely just lovely anyway. Katie Sackhoff. I think Katie was there. So just a varied guest list. Now, the thing for me is they had Sigourney Weaver there as a panel guest. Why not have her signing? I don't get it. Why fly over all the way there? But the downside is she did actually sign for official picks. So if she's there in the country, why not have her signing? I actually don't get it. There were several people. Ryan Gosling was there. Again, Why not have him signing? Genevieve O'Reilly, who would have gone down amazing at Celebration. Why not have him signing? I don't get it. If you're flying them there, why just have them locked to official picks during signings? Just doesn't make sense. But overall, the event was absolutely incredible. Then, you know me, I love a fan event. I absolutely love a fan event. Always used to do the 501sts, the 3 group bashes, things like that. Great events. But they started to go downhill. So a couple of years ago, 2 friends of ours, Spencer Jowitz and Frank Rich, started to do Boonter Eve. I think the first one they did was the Celebration Anaheim. Then they did one at Celebration London, which was great. Then they decided to do Celebration Not So Virtual Cantina in Japan. Well, what can I say about this event? It was just Spencer at this time. I may be wrong, but I think it was just Spencer that did this one. Probably the best fan event I've ever been to. The guest list was out of this world. Forgive the pun. And again, you know, you had Fon Davis, ILM model maker, well known for doing R2 in the prequels. You've got Chris Parsons. Obviously, we all know Chris as droids in episode Empire Strikes Back. 4-alarm, Stormtrooper, Snowtrooper. Chris has done it all. Then you've got Jim Swearingen, so he was the chief designer for Kenny Toys, which again, great guest. Then you had Marty Mathias, who was Vane in The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and The Skeleton Crew. Then you had Christine Gately, who was a Jawa in Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. You had her husband, can't think of his name now. Again, a Jawa and Book of Boba Fett. So great guests. And then for me, don't forget, you had Kiriana Critter. Now, Kiriana was KB in the Skeleton Crew. And just if you think Skeleton Crew was pretty new out then, how on earth did they able to get Kiriana Critter, KB from Skeleton Crew? The guest list was immense. And after that, they even announced Katie O'Brien from The Mandalorian. So, no, but again, if Kiriana's there, why not have her at Celebration? Again, I don't get it. You paid your money. The thing for me is the venue was too small. It wasn't too small for what they had. It was too small because a lot of people were outside who couldn't get in. So the next one, they need a bigger venue because this is overtaking all fan events at Celebration. It was absolutely incredible. And Spencer, you need a pat on your back because it's, again, a fan event for fans. But why not have the guests? Why have Kiriana at one event? She's flown to Japan. Why not have her at Celebration? Again, I don't get it. There'll be some ridiculous rule about it. But I'll tell you what, you'll have to get them early, but definitely go to Not So Virtual Cantina in Los Angeles if you're going to Celebration, because it's not to be missed. So the final event I want to talk to this year is MCon. I've only ever been to MCon a couple of times, and it is becoming one of my favourite events. Really well organised, great selection of guests, and what I love about MCon, they get different guests. They're not on the mainstream, you know. They do have some mainstream. Peter Davison, Paul McGann, who by all means are absolutely rammed. But they have a lot of different guests. So this year they had Phil Daniels, which I've not seen Phil do a show for years. Paul Kane from Game of Thrones, Sean Biggerstaff, Tom Bennett. One for me, which I've always wanted to meet, was Marina Sirtis, Deanna Troi from Star Trek Next Generation, Anita Dobson, Annette Badland, sorry. They had Warwick Davis, they had James Darcy. So a real good selection of guests. And that's just a few of them. There was many, many more. I just can't remember every guest. But again, an amazing show. And if you've never been to MCon, I'd recommend going to MCon. You know, really, really good time. And then the final thing, which I can't believe I didn't mention last time, which I've got to mention now, is the introduction of the Elite Signatures top loaders. So we started with 8x10s. We then went to 11x14s, 11x17s, 12x18s, 16x20s. And then finally, in the middle of the year, we went with Elite Signatures, comic bags and boards. They're selling that well. They've been that well received. I had them 6 weeks and then I had to order another 10,000. So if you are in the market for any comic bags and boards, recommend trying these out because they are outstanding. A lot of effort went to getting these right. Wanted resealable, the correct size. The boards I only wanted coating on one side. Where the resealer, do I want the resealer on the flap or on the actual comic itself? So there's a lot of effort gone into these and I'm very proud of them. So they're selling well. So next year, like I've already said, a lot going on next year, a lot of amazing events. Are we going to do any more products? Absolutely we are. So we're currently creating our own Funko hard shells, Funko soft protectors. We're going to start having some top loaders for your Pokemon cards. So we haven't stopped yet. So 2026, like I said, it's going to be an amazing year. So that's it for now. Back to normal videos next week. Had some great eBay sales over the next couple of weeks. And when this goes out, I should have done my second eBay Live, which I'm looking forward to doing eBay Live this year. I did my first one and it went great. So that's it for now. Like I've said, remember, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. Did you go to Celebration? What did you think? Did you go to the virtual, not so virtual cantina with the amazing guests? Did you go to MCon? Let me know your comments. And that's it. Paul, signing out.